Hey guys, it is J Star Wars 360 here with another Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. vlog for you. This is the end of the beginning. We're starting our way towards the final few episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There are 5 more left after this, and they're all going to be aired one week after another. No stops in between, and this is the beginning of that. Well, actually, there were a couple episodes aired one week after another after this, but point is, we're going to the finale here. No stops. So, quick summary in case you don't know what happened this episode or you just forgot. This is the one where first off we have Deathlock out there on a rampage, but that's not what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are concerned with. They are zeroing in on the Clairvoyant. They have a bunch of people that they think are the Clairvoyant, and they're just investigating them. They find this guy who they think is the Clairvoyant. Agent Ward kills him, and then it turns out he was not the Clairvoyant at all. Well, Coulson suspects he's not the Clairvoyant. And just as they're figuring out, they find out May is making private calls to someone, and then the plane automatically starts flying towards the hub. And this was a good episode, I guess. I mean, I like how things are finally moving. We're not teasing mysteries anymore. Shit's finally happening. We're moving the plot forward. We're learning a bit about who the Clairvoyant is. Seems like we're going to get a bit more about May and who she's calling at some point. It's pretty obvious it's not the Clairvoyant. My guess is that she's reporting to S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe Nick Fury, about Coulson. But yeah, I like how we're moving forward to the plot. No more breaks, no more filler. It seems like shit's happening, so I'm glad with that. But at the same time, we do have some issues. I mean, still don't care for these characters. Like Skye gets promoted to become a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, and this should be a fun, happy moment. But unfortunately, I really don't care for the characters. So when she gets promoted, it's like, oh, that's cool, I guess. But whatever. I never really cared much for Skye. And again, I think that's one of the issues of the show is I really don't care for these characters. Like, there are some shows where I am in love with the characters. Avatar: The Last Airbender. I love the characters on that show. So when stuff happens to them, I'll feel really happy for them if it's good, and I will feel very sad for them if something bad happens to them. Unless it's the villain Azula, in which case, if something bad happens to her, I'll go, yeah, Azula's going down! But I digress. So, let's see, what else? Also Deathlock. I wasn't really that big on the design for him. I know they have a low budget and everything, but really that's the best you can come up with. You couldn't make something kind of cool. I mean, I saw the images, I was like, meh. Same here. And the effects on him were kind of bad. Like, there's this one scene where he has to jump from the top of the staircase to the bottom of the staircase, and it looks so fake. Like, which is another issue of the show. It's so low budget that you can clearly tell when effects are fake. I mean, I don't need to rant about the plane falling scene, which is clearly a reenactment of the Iron Man 3 one, but except that one, it was live action. It's clearly blue screen. But I digress. This isn't really going to be focused. I'm just going to be commenting on the good and bad as usual. But there was some good. Like, I like seeing the battleship from the Avengers. The ship that could also part boat, part plane. I don't know. It might have been the same thing. I don't know. Also, I liked how when it came to the Clairvoyant, we had all these big-time agents tracking down. It really made this situation feel very important and urgent. All these big agents are coming to the form, except for Nick Fury, which I'm guessing he's busy doing stuff in Winter Soldier. But yeah. Also, and I'm guessing Captain America's busy as well, because it's like, with the Clairvoyant, you'd think Captain America would be around too, but well. But yeah, so I like seeing all these characters we've met throughout the show and the movies coming together. Again, nice, cool way to tie the Marvel Cinematic Universe together. So that was cool. But amidst all this, we did have another reference to the Ward and Skye reference. I'm like, just stop! I do not care about the romance in this show at all. It's like Legend of Korra. It's like whenever they focus on the romance in Legend of Korra, I'm like, ugh. And it's the same thing here. It's like, I don't care. I swear. If we have a scene where Ward and Skye get together, I am going to get pissed. I mean, I'll get pissed regardless when they focus on the romance, but especially Ward and Sky, they are not an interesting couple. They barely do any interesting interactions in the show. I mean, in the earlier episodes, yeah, but they've been focusing a lot on him and May. It's like, I'm surprised I'm even giving the show the scores I'm giving it. Because in reality, I mean, if you want to go out and say the show's crap, I won't blame you. I mean, I'm a bit more optimistic about it, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, and to think, there's a bunch of other shows I could be watching right now, but instead I'm wasting my time watching this. But anyway, back to the episode. We also have a new gadget in this episode, which is a tracking device, which I thought was kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of, I've read the original Amazing Spider-Man comics from the 60s, 70s, and stuff. And in them, Spider-Man invents this little tracking device in the shape of a spider, which he uses a lot, which he tracks with his spider sense, which I don't know if he's tracking the device or the person, because if he's tracking the person, then what's the point of the device? But I digress. Point is, this was a cool little thing that they used in the comics. I hope it was cool to kind of see a tracking device in the film. In the show, I hope in the new Amazing Spider-Man film that they bring back the Spider Tracer, or in one of the sequels they bring it back, because it was cool, but I digress. I like the fake Clairvoyant. Really like the actor playing him, really like the character. It was cool. He kind of seemed like a hybrid of Khan from Star Trek 2. Can't believe I have to make that comparison now. Spoilers if you haven't seen Into Darkness. Khan is in it. Although pretty much anyone who's seen Wrath of Khan probably guessed that going in, including me. Or at least suspected. And he was same way. The fake Clairvoyant, he was a hybrid of Khan from Star Trek 2 and the Joker from The Dark Knight. That's at least the vibe I've got. And he was kind of cool. And also, it was kind of shocking to see Ward shoot him. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. And, yeah. So, we still don't know who the Clairvoyant is, although I'm pretty sure I know who it is, because Coulson's like, well, maybe, Ward's like, did someone in S.H.I.E.L.D. tell you to kill him? And the instant he said that, I'm like, let me guess, the black guy is either the Clairvoyant or he's working for the Clairvoyant. And it's kind of weird that Ward wouldn't figure out that the guy who put the thought in his head might be the Clairvoyant, and instead Ward doesn't get it. It's kind of frustrating, but I'm sorry, it's frustrating when I can figure stuff out before the main characters. It makes them look dumb when the typical audience can figure something out before them. And Ward's a fucking agent. But yeah, it's obvious he's him. So, I mean, the Clairvoyant is someone in S.H.I.E.L.D. The S.H.I.E.L.D. agent tells Ward, if I were you, I'd kill the Clairvoyant. It's so obvious. I just hope they figure it out next episode and not like 2 or 3 episodes in. Like in Season 2 of Legend of Korra when we have Unalaq, who's the obvious villain, and it takes Korra like 3 or 4 episodes to figure out he's evil. Like, she needs to be flat out, have it spelled out for him that Unalaq's the bad guy. And sorry if I spoiled anything, but it's so obvious Unalaq's the villain in Legend of Korra, and it's pretty obvious that black guy's the villain. I can't remember his name right now, but it's obvious he's him. Someone had the theory online that the Clairvoyant is Loki. As interesting as that theory sounds, I highly doubt it. I'm curious as to who's May is calling. And the cliffhanger was interesting. I don't think we've ever had a cliffhanger that wasn't a 2-part episode, but again, all these next few episodes are going to be part of one arc, so I'm guessing we're going to have a lot of cliffhangers and to be continueds. So overall, also it was interesting that there's no end credits scene, but it's a cliffhanger, so I guess there's not much to show. So yeah, good episode, I guess, but problematic as always. Like how stuff's happening, like how we're moving forward. I'm curious to know where the show is going. And I'm also curious to see how this ties into Captain America Winter Soldier, if the events from the movie will tie into the show next week, or vice versa, if we're going to see anything from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the movie. And on that subject, here's the thing. I'm probably not going to get a chance to see Winter Soldier this weekend, and I might not even get a chance to see it next weekend. I'll probably see it sometime this month, but I just don't know when yet. So until I see it, I'm going to put on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on hold just in case they spoil Winter Soldier in the show. I mean, I doubt they will. Probably be nothing like Thor the Dark World. But just to be safe, I am temporarily not going to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So for those of you who enjoy my vlogs, again, please be patient. And I'm sorry in advance if you're not, if I don't, not to plant the vlogs regularly. But yeah. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say on this except I'm glad we're finally moving forward. This kind of reminds me. I know I'm about to make an Ever Legend of Korra comparison, but it kind of reminds me of Korra. Where like the show's really slow, and then we get to the last handful of episodes in the season, and it like really picks up. So yeah, I don't have anything else to say at this point except good episode. Like how the plot's moving forward. Curious where it's going next, but unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to do any more until I see Winter Soldier. So. Until then, this is JStar360 signing out.